We're going to talk about hardware, guys. Now, for those of you that's been following me for a while, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of hardware. And I don't even really like talking about ABK, but my fan base wants to be kept up to date. You guys deserve it. So, we're talking about hardware. And to be honest with you, after talking about ABK for like 2 years almost exclusive, I'm kind of hyped to talk about hardware. Now, let's give you a little feedback. Some people might be out of date. Maybe you came into the scene a little late. Xbox One, Xbox Series, Xbox One S, Xbox One X. That's how last generation went, where you would go from the standard Xbox to the Xbox One S, and if you wanted to, you can get the upgraded version called the Xbox One X. Now, Nick over at Xbox Era has heard some interesting news about the Xbox Series X. We'll get to that here in a moment. Now, the PlayStation 5 currently has a PlayStation 5 SKU and a PlayStation diskless one. And a lot of people wondered, Microsoft, why didn't you offer those opportunities? Because you could have did, some good pricing, could have did a lot with that kind of, advantage point where you have a disc and a diskless version. And we never really got that for the most part. PlayStation actually got to the point where the physical version that is with a disc that's $500, they are offering you the opportunity to just get a diskless version and buy an adapter that lets you use the, a disk drive. So I would assume it'd be like a USB where you hook up to the USB and it's a disk drive. But up until this point, not a lot of rumors been going around that shows that maybe Microsoft would do something similar. Now, Nick over at Xbox Air, he's a hit and miss sometimes, but I would say for the most part, his rumors are accurate. Now, people need to understand when people tell you stuff in the industry, depending on who it is, you can get outdated information very easily. Gaming industry and corporations in general move at an alarming speed. So, for instance, if something that they tell you could already be 6 months outdated, and perhaps the whole project's been canceled, especially when it comes to games. Games get canceled all the time. It's just you don't hear about it because they've not officially been confirmed or officially been announced. So let's go over here to Nick, and we're going to listen to the podcast where he says this. Let's go.
I actually heard it from a couple of sources, surprisingly. At first, I had only heard it from one, and then another one reached out to me completely separately and said, I've heard this is happening. So I went back to the original. I'm like, does that mean I can say something now? And they're like, okay.
Nice.
So what I've heard is that Microsoft are currently looking into a digital-only Series X.
Digital.
So no disk drive.
I wonder what that looked like.
Which I think a lot of people have wanted for a while.
Yeah, because I can imagine it would be a lot smaller. That's a big chunk of space.
Would it be a lot smaller?
Yeah, it's a huge chunk of space taken up by a disk drive. I would say it would be a significantly smaller.
So I wonder if the digital Series X gets considered the Slim. Would it get considered the Slim then?
All right, so that's pretty much where we're going to go. I will put the whole podcast in the description if you guys want to go listen to it a little bit more. It's around the 2 hours and 8 minutes mark. So let's digest what Nick just said. Nick said that he's heard from multiple sources saying that there's going to be an Xbox Series X diskless version. I don't know what they would do with the Xbox Series S. Maybe they would, update something a little bit. So let's go off just the Xbox Series X. The Xbox Series X needs a price reduction for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons I would say is that PlayStation has a diskless version, so they automatically going in at a $400 range. So it's nice if you're able to give them that extra little discount because you're not having that anymore. Imagine if an Xbox Series X version came out at $400. I think that would be very relevant. I think that kind of price reduction would be helpful, especially knowing that they just raised the prices in other regions. I think this is something that needs to happen. Microsoft should have gave us this option from the start, because with digital trends going so far up and now less and less people care about a physical media, I think that you can easily do something like this and get away with it. You can see just with this Xbox Series S, people buying that Series S a lot. And the fact that so many people are buying the Series S means that there is a market for people that don't care about physical media. And I think that shows in just the sales in general. How many people bought a PS4, a PS5 discless version? There's a lot. And I think Microsoft could learn from that and compete with them with two varieties of the same console, the Xbox Series X and the discless Xbox. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I think price is always a key factor. And if PlayStation starts releasing these PlayStation 5s without a disc and offering them just to buy a disc for the $100, I think that's going to put PlayStation at a huge advantage over Xbox, because I'll have a $100 difference at that point over Xbox consistently at that point. Because now you're just going to be making the PS5 discless SKUs with the disc on the side. So when they're in the store, if you want a disc, you could pay that extra $80 to $100. They'll probably make a little bit of profit off that. But if you don't want the disc and you don't care about the disc, you can walk in any GameStop, any Walmart, any Target, and leave with a PlayStation 5 with the disc, without the disc, and have $100 difference. And I think that that's something Microsoft needs to address sooner rather than later. Looks like Nick's heard such rumors, and, you know, it's like I said, take it as a grain of salt, because this isn't confirmed by anyone. It's just some rumors that, you know, Nick is throwing around. And like I said, sometimes he's a hit and miss, but for the most part, you guys don't know how this industry works. It's really fast. The stuff he be saying now is probably from outdated information. They could have literally talked about an Xbox Series X discless version for a couple weeks and never touched it again. They just realized, you know, economically, or maybe it was against a business plan that someone was wanting to do. But anyway, put it in the comment section below. Do you guys think that Xbox needs an Xbox Series X? And if we need an Xbox Series X without the disc, do you think that $100 difference is going to matter in the long run? I personally do. But anyway, put in the comment section below, and appreciate all the support I've been getting. Definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel and do weekly content just about almost every day at this point. But anyway, appreciate the support for you guys. Put in the comment section below what you guys think if they need an Xbox Series X without the disc tray for the less money up front. But anyway, put in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. I know I said put answers in the comment section a couple times. Deal with the guys.